Hello, my name is Jason JROCK Houston. You guys are listening to an interview being done tonight for Chaotic Riffs magazine. We can be found on the web at www.chaoticriffs.com. It's my great pleasure to be speaking with singer Madam Mayhem. How are you doing tonight, Madam?
How are you?
Now, you're calling us all the way from New York City. I know it's a little later there where you are. We're a little earlier here. So thanks for taking time out of your very busy schedule to do the interview, and I really appreciate it.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Now, of course, tonight we're going to be talking about your new album coming out, which is called Now You Know. I believe the release date is October 16th. I know Billy Sheehan from Mr. Big produced the album. I was wondering, how did you and Billy hook up?
Well, Billy's been a mentor of mine for a few years now, and I'm lucky to have him as a friend and a mentor. We were writing songs together and decided to do a record from there. We met at a workshop, and he liked my voice, and obviously been one of my favorite of all time. So,
wow.
You know, it definitely worked out in my favor.
And so, how big of an influence would you say Billy had on the album? I mean, did he, when you guys were in the studio working together, did he kind of allow you to do your thing? Did he give you a lot of suggestions to help shape the album?
Well, it was really great because I had Billy and all the other guys on the record that really let me be me and write what I wanted to say. Billy and I co-wrote almost all of the songs on the record together. Oh. The other ones I co-wrote with Corey Lowry. And just being allowed to express myself the way I wanted to. And yes, of course, you know, being the producer, Billy put in his 2 cents and really, like, put it together, you know, and really helped me out. But I'm very proud of this record because it really is a big piece of me, and I've really come into my own, I feel, as a songwriter and as a person through this process, and I'm really thankful to Billy for allowing me to do so. And
let me ask you, Madam Mayhem, is this your debut album, or have you put out other music prior to this?
I've put out other music before, but all independently.
Oh, okay.
So this is new.
Okay, yeah, because I gotta be honest, I haven't really heard of anything you've done before. You know, your publicist sent me a press release, and then I went in, you know, obviously in preparing for today's interview, kind of did a little research on you, and I, of course, checked out your video for the song Monster, and I was quite impressed with that. I thought it was very visual. I got a kind of a bit of a Alice, Marilyn Manson influence. Were they all influences on you?
Oh, absolutely. I've had so many influences, especially, you know, growing up and just listening to rock and metal and that just being my vibe. And definitely those two were huge influences in my life, and they definitely contribute to some of my performance things as well.
Yeah, because again, that's the only song so far I really had a chance to hear. I haven't heard even other songs, so I'm kind of basing it on the video I've seen. But I got to ask you, and just looking at that one video for Monster, there seems to be kind of like a shock rock element to what you do. Would you say that's a fair statement?
Well, I guess you could say that. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Honestly, what I do first and foremost is make rock music. You know, hard rock.
Yeah.
Gearing on the heavy side, but the shock factor is always fun. I mean, that's just what I look like on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a little amplified for the storyline with I don't walk down the street in a straitjacket, although it was a really fun experience.
Yeah.
A lot of people would love to see me in one, so for those people, check out the video. But, yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a guy that, like, I love bands like, you know, obviously Alice, we're talking about, Marilyn Manson, Motley Crue, you know, Motley Crue, bands like that kind of have over-the-top shows, and there's a big visual part of what those bands do. And just looking at the video for Monster, I thought, wow, I love the visuals. There's a real great kind of like hard rock, metal element to what she does. This is something, you know, really really fresh, and I could get down on this now. On that note, I got to ask you, but your name, Madam Mayhem, how did you come up with that? Because that's just such a great name.
Thank you. Actually, I can't take credit for that because my parents started calling me that a while back,
Wow.
and it just kind of stuck because no matter where I went, what I did, Mayhem tended to follow whether I caused it or not. So I was just starting to just called Madam Mayhem, and it's stuck, and that's really the only thing I respond to now.
And so again, Madam Mayhem, that's kind of your stage name. Is that the name of the band as well, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
And now, obviously, when we're talking about, you have Billy, who produced the album. He played bass on the album, and I understand you had some other guest stars like Ray Luzier, the drummer from Korn. You also had Bumblefoot from Guns N' Roses. My question was, how did you get all these guest stars to play on the album?
Well, reaching out through Billy was definitely helpful. You know, we finished these songs, and we really wanted to be able to record them in a way that, you know, expressed exactly what we were trying to get across. So, thinking of the people who we thought would fit best, and you know, Billy, you know, sent it to Ray and was like, "What do you think about this?" And same with Bumblefoot, and I've met Bumblefoot multiple times before. Great guy, and Russ Parrish. Just, you know, Billy reached out to him as well, and obviously Corey, who I wrote with. You know, having all of these guys be interested. You know, obviously reaching out, saying, "Hey, here's the stuff. Would you be down for, you know, laying down these tracks?" And them being, you know, excited about it was really exciting for me, because you know, all those guys are just such incredible musicians, and I really look up to all of them.
And so let me ask you, as far as recording the album, you have these other guest musicians come and play on the album, but did it all have a back, you know, your own backing band come in, or did you kind of just for recording the album have different players come on and play on the different tracks?
Well, for this, it's the players that are, you know, listed: Ray, Bumblefoot, Russ, Corey, Billy. You know, those are the guys on the album, and I mean, the sound quality is incredible because of it. And my live band, I do have a live band, and it includes some really great guys, and they really needed to be up to par with, you know, these incredible musicians, and they are, and I'm so thrilled to be part of a band like that. And so when we play live, it's gonna sound so, you know, killer. And then hopefully for future music, you know, everyone can contribute.
And so as far as the guys that are in the touring band, how long have you been together with them? And were these guys that you've known through the years, or did you just audition them?
You know, it's different for each one. You know how bands go.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been doing this for a really long time, and I don't think I've ever had a band member I didn't love and consider family. So I've been very fortunate about that. But, you know, it's different with each person on how you meet and how it meshes. And as long as it does, you're good to go.
And so now I was curious, again, now the single is Monster, and you shot a video for that people can check out online. Why was that the song you decided to go with for the first single?
I think it really was a good introduction as to who I am as an artist, and really what the music is. And so I think starting with that really, you know, it's a great introduction. You know, that one's called Now You Know, and it's really just an introduction of who Madam Mayhem is, who I am. And I've been doing this for a while, and I feel like this is kind of like a breakout for me, where I was really able to write songs like Monster and express myself in the way and in the genre that I've really always loved my whole life, and I really feel like I fit, and I think that was the perfect, you know, introduction song.
And so, you know, like you said, this is kind of your breakout thing, the biggest thing you've done to date so far. But the music you put out previously independently, I was curious, any chance if this album sells well that those previous albums will be made available?
Absolutely. I think, you know, whenever, you know, music comes out, they're just as important to me, and I think they are out. You can probably find some stuff online, you know, doing it all independently. It's harder to get it out on every outlet, but the old stuff will definitely try to make its way back out there in the future. But honestly, I think that there's been a growth between everything I've done. You know, it's different timing in life, different experiences, and you know, the record Now You Know really describes who I am now. So I'm really excited about it. But the old stuff is still like really important to me, and really rocking. So hopefully afterwards, you know, there can always be a revival.
And then on that note, when you go out and do some live shows, I was curious, will any of the older material make into a live set, or you pretty much going to primarily be playing songs off a new album.
Well, it's always a toss-up.
Yeah, yeah.
We have a set list, and you always throw in those things that the fans are gonna love. I've had a really close-knit fan base that I feel very connected to, and I think that they're responding very well, which I'm very fortunate and very happy, and I'm glad they like the new stuff. So I'm gonna give them some of that and a taste of that, and hopefully they'll like it.
And then, of course, you're saying Corey Laurie, who previously played with Stuck Mojo, was kind of your main songwriting guy. So how did you guys decide that, to collaborate, that he's going to be the guy to collaborate with?
Well, actually, we were introduced by a mutual friend in the industry, and I hadn't met him face-to-face. We talked on the phone. I had heard some of, the things that he's written in, and I loved all of it, and I just said, I need to write with him. So we spoke on the phone. I flew down to Atlanta, having not met him before, and we got 3 songs out in just 2 days, and then I was like, this is a perfect fit. I was really happy with with everything that we came out with, and he's just such a great and talented songwriter and musician, and it's also a good hang, which helps too. You want to be comfortable with everyone you work with, and I definitely experienced that with Billy and with Corey and with everyone on this record. When you feel safe and you're comfortable and you can just tell your own truths and not be afraid of anything, then you really get the best songs you can.
So as far as the songwriting, what were those sessions like? I was curious, did you and Corey have all this stuff written by the time it's time to go into the studio, or did you get together and kind of jam the songs out where he'd come up with the riff, or did you have the lyrics first?
It's different each time, to be honest. There can either there are lyrics and musical riffs popping out of my head any given second, so I'm always writing them down on my phone or on a piece of paper or scribbled post-its, and that's just how I am. And when you get in to write a song, I love collaborating for that reason. Either someone has an idea that they want to focus on, or a theme, or if they have this really great music part. It all depends on how it flows, whichever way comes first. So it's really fun to figure it out as you go.
And so as far as the guest stars in that and what tracks they appear on, was that kind of up to Billy, being that he's the producer, or did you kind of have a idea okay, I'd like Bumblefoot to play on this song, or how did you approach that?
Well, Billy was great in letting me, be the artist and have my input, and we picked a few songs that we thought, Russ would kill this. Bumblefoot was so great at this, but honestly, when they laid down any track on any of the songs, they were all killer. So it was so cool to watch, just and to hear them playing anything on any of the songs. I was mesmerized. They're incredible musicians, everyone on this album, and Ray played drums on everything, and
wow.
And it's just really cool. I'm really excited for everyone to hear it.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because, like you said, I could just imagine, recording some of these tunes, like having a guy like Bumblefoot or Russ Parrish come in, and now would they lay down their solos, or would you kind of tell them, okay, this is kind of the kind of thing I want you guys to record for a song, or would you kind of just let them go in there and do their thing?
I mean, these are artists, so they hear the song and they fit it in, and there's always a little bit of direction here and there, but I mean, these guys are pros, and they killed it, and it just sounds so. I'm so excited talking about them and their parts. You have to hear it just to get what kind of a click that they had in fitting. They fit so perfectly with the music that I wrote that I couldn't be happier.
Now, of course, these guys are all very busy with their own careers, but I was curious, have you given any thought to any chance that any of them may come and join you on stage ever, during a live show or something like that?
Well, never say never. If I'm in town, when they're in town, it can always happen. I mean, these guys are great guys and great musicians, and the music industry, and especially the musicians within it, we all try to support each other. So, I've had great people and big artists, and sometimes some musical surprises, and it's just mayhem.
Well,
The best sense of the word.
I think that's what I think the name is so fitting. I mean, and again, I'm just basing this off the one video I've seen so far. I'm really excited for the rest of the album, to drop, so I can really get a chance to, get the full picture, if you will. But like you said, you never know what you're going to get at a Man of Mayhem show. For the people like myself who haven't seen one of your live shows before, what can people expect when they come see you play live? I mean, are we going to get like like I was saying, like a real visual rock show, just performing the songs? What can people expect?
Well, performing and being on stage is my favorite part of the whole thing. I mean, it's my life. So, people should just be prepared to be entertained and have amazing sounding stuff and great visual, and just to have an amazing time at a rock show. I mean, what's better than that?
Yeah. And of course, like we said, the album doesn't even drop till like October 16th. So right now, this is exactly what you're doing, getting the word out about the album. I imagine you're doing that for a good portion of the rest of the year. So what are the plans as far as touring? Do you have any live dates set up, or what are you looking at here?
Well, for the day of the release and the night after, we have some shows coming up in New Jersey locally, which is great, and some stuff here on the East Coast for the fall. But we're also working on putting together something so that we can reach out to everyone and be able to play live. So as soon as we get that all set up, we'll be making the announcement.
Yeah, because I would think even if you got some kind of package deal where you guys are opening band, it just kind of depends on who's on the bill with you. But I think it's that'd be a great opportunity, because again, just more people will get a chance to get out there and see you. And any chance you guys will be doing any like little club shows in the meantime, like just trying to get people to be aware of it, the album's out and everything?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I just love playing live, and so, wherever I can go and perform, it's gonna happen. So we have a few shows booked up for October, around the time of the release, and then from there, we're just gonna play until we can't play anymore, which is gonna be very, very, very far away from now. So that's all I want to do, is get on the road and perform, and any venue. I'm just that's where I'm the happiest, and it's where I don't cause problems for much more people. Everyone likes it better when I'm on the road and touring. It keeps me busy, and it causes less mayhem in the worst sense of the word.
Yeah, and of course, the bigger places you play, the better. But then again, I also do love when bands play like these little clubs, like even like the House of Blue type places, because they're real intimate shows, and the fans get a chance to see the band up close and personal. And on that note, I was curious, when people come out to the shows, you guys going to have any merchandise and that besides just CDs and T-shirts to sell?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're coming up with some new merch coming out soon, which will be cool. It'll be a bunch of different stuff. We have T-shirts.
Oh, cool.
And the CDs, a whole bunch of stuff. But there's new stuff coming as well, so people can look out for that. But I think that performing in the smaller venues is incredible, because it's an intimate setting where you're really, you'll always feel the audience if they're digging what you're doing. But to be able to see the faces individually and really getting a feel for that basically that they're loving what you're doing, and you're kind of in it together. And I think it's a great sense. And I just love doing that. I mean,
because you get the immediate feedback right away. You can really feed off what the crowd's feeling at the time, when you're up there on that stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And you really feel like you're in it together with them too,
Yeah. And it's kind of like, especially when you're up on stage and you got a good performance going, and the fans are really behind you. You really feel like, oh, yeah, these are my people. It's a great feeling, I imagine. And then on that note, as far as performing live, have you guys just at this point pretty much done shows like locally in the New York, New Jersey area? Have you had a chance to branch out to other states yet?
Yeah, we played out in LA a while back, Viper Room.
Okay.
We even did a Sound of the Playboy Mansion one night.
Wow.
I played at the Sands, and I had the opportunity to open for Buck Cherry there in Pennsylvania, which was an incredible experience. We played all over, and I just can't wait to get back out there and play in even more places and even more states and countries and
wow.
get going.
Wow. So that was going to be my next question. Have you guys played anywhere like in other countries overseas yet, or is that something you're hoping to do with this new album?
I would love to do with this new album, and in the past, yeah, I mean, we've definitely hit up one or two places, but I can't wait to hit everywhere that we have fans that love the music and have been supporting us and myself since day one. I'd love to just see them face to face finally.
And I got to ask, what was the gig? You mentioned you'd played at the Playboy Mansion. That must have been a little different for you. How did that gig come about?
It was actually one of the things that I did with Billy Sheehan and a few other mentors. They do this workshop over there, and they get to all perform at the end. And I was working on my previous record, and went out there and did a song or two with a bunch of they do those all-star jams, and it was really fun. It was interesting and really cool, beautiful place. And for some reason, I was the most dressed person there, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I bet.
So it was interesting for sure, and a lot of fun.
And then I was curious because I was looking at some of the photos on your Facebook page, and I seen a photo up there of I guess when Billy went on that metal show. Did he take you with him as his guest or anything? And is that what that was about?
Well, he was in town, and he's really like a big brother to me, and so whenever he's in town, we always try to meet up. So I went back there, and the guys from that metal show are so great and so cool.
Yeah.
And I just hung out back there and watched them do their thing. So it was a great experience, and that's also when Billy started to make the announcements that this stuff was coming. So it was a really cool opportunity that was starting to happen.
Yeah, that's cool because that's cool because I was just thinking when I saw that photo, how cool would that be if when the album drops, if next season you get invited to be on that metal show? That'd be a really great thing for you guys, I think.
Yeah, that would be very cool. I would do it.
Yeah, of course.
I'll be waiting for that call for sure.
Yeah, and you wouldn't even have to fly anywhere because they're back in New York City, so that'd be a great thing for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so I was curious, you mentioned Alice and Manson we were talking about earlier, but who are some other bands that influenced you when you were growing up?
It's weird because there have been so many, and I think my taste growing up from when I was young until now, I'm talking like much younger until now, it's been very eclectic, but it's always been hard rock and metal is my love. My mom started playing grunge in the car as my baby music because she got sick of all the Sesame Street tapes.
Wow.
So that started, and then as I got older, I just started discovering more and more rock, and as I got older, it just got heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier until it just keeps growing from there.
And so I got to ask you, because you said that Mom and Dad have to take the credit for your name, Madam Mayhem. What do they think about all the mayhem and the music, and all your success you're starting to have now because of it?
They've always been very supportive of me. I've been, doing this for a while, and being a singer and a performer has been my dream since I was born, basically. So they know what they're getting themselves into with what I'm doing now, and they're not in the industry, so they're like, oh, good for you, that's so great, and I couldn't thank them enough for being supportive and just being there for me while I pursue my dream. Yeah,
because a lot of I talked to a lot of people who tell me, oh yeah, for years I had my rock star dream, and my folks, my family told me, wise up, you're never going to make it doing the music thing, and then lo and behold, they have their success, and that's just got to be a great feeling,
Yeah, I mean, they never said, give up, you're never going to make it. They were like, you're nuts, this industry's crazy. Why would you do this to yourself? I think is more what they were going for. But they're the best parents in the world, and my brother too, for just being supportive and being there, letting me do what I need to do, whether they understand it or not. They still support it, and that's, I guess, what's most important, really, throughout my whole career.
And let me ask you, because the music industry has changed quite a bit, since since probably the time that you and I were growing up. So I got to ask you, like, as far as your current record deal and that, how did you get that? Did the record company come to you? Was it a matter of you sending your music to them? Because again, it's very hard.
It's really just a lot of hard work and being persistent and just keep doing what you're doing. And it all happened in such a cool way that it all just meshed that I couldn't even tell you how it. Who came up to what happened with what. It just happens in a way where you think it's in an instant, but it really takes a very, very, very long time, and then you just keep pushing and keep going, and then you end up with a product and people behind you that you can really respect and and are thankful for.
Yeah, and then talk a little bit about the internet. How helpful of a tool has that been for you? I mean, you must get people again. You're just starting to get the word out about this new album. It doesn't even hit the stores until October, mid-October, and so just based on the video and the response you've been getting off of that so far, what has that been like for you?
I mean, I love the internet in terms of being able to connect with my fans and being able to share music. When you're an artist nowadays, I mean, that's all there is. You can put your art out there and you can put your music out there, and if someone responds to it, it's just that easy. And I think that's a great thing. But at the same time, it's also double-edged sword in a sense, because it's great when people respond and people are really feeling your music and you can get yourself out there, but then I feel like there are times where it turns more into a popularity contest that either is or isn't correct, just based on and not based on the music, which is the most important thing for me. But I mean, I'm on all the social medias. I get my music out there. I've always used it because I think that's the best way to connect with your fans. I mean, if someone comments, I'm writing back, and that's a connection right there. And if they are moved by what I do and the songs that I come out with and who I am, then they're instantly part of my team and part of my family, and I'm just as excited to be keeping in touch with them as well. So
I guess too, what I'm asking is, like, for example, when you posted the video for Monster, and that's been up for for a couple days now, does it amaze you when you see how many the numbers of people that have viewed that just since it's been posted?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting because I'm glad people like it.
I
mean, I put a lot of work into everything I do, and when people like it, that means I'm doing my job right, and that I'm also not the only one out there. The things that I write about and the creative process and all that. When people respond to it, it's really, really cool. And the video was so much fun to do as well. So I'm glad that people are enjoying it. They're great guys who shot the video, Industrialism Films, and I was actually out in LA when I did it. And it was a really cool time doing. So the fact that people like it, even better.
And so how long did the video shoot itself take? I mean, was that like a whole day, or what was that like?
I mean, each video is different, but this, we knocked this one out in a day. All the shots, and it was a great crew, a great team, and it was a lot of fun too. So you didn't even notice, how things, time flying. But all in a day, we got it all done.
And how involved were you with the editing of a video, as far as saying, okay, I want this part here, I want this part here, or do you have a director come in and do that for you?
I'm a very hands-on artist, so everything I do, I definitely make sure that I have some sort of say in it, and that it portrays, because it is me. So I want to make sure that whatever I'm sharing is true to who I am as a person and as an artist, and that it's not anything other than.
So as far as this new album, again, dropping October 16th, which is called Now You Know, how long would you say it's taken you to really, from the time you started writing these tunes and you got in the studio to really, finish the recording and everything? How long did that process take?
I mean, I don't even remember, but I mean, it just went by so fast, I guess, because it's just been so cool. When you're sitting in the studio writing with Billy Sheehan, I don't really think you know what time is.
Yeah.
So amazed and inspired just working with these guys. I'd love to go back in there and do it even longer. So.
Yeah, and I was curious. The last thing I want to ask you about was, As far as recording the album, were all the guys like when you record a song, were all the musicians in the same room together? Would anybody like kind of do it in their own studio and they send in their tracks? What was the process?
It was different. It was different for each
track.
For person and in each track as well, because these are guys that are
very busy.
They're crazy busy. They're not they're not in one place for more than a short amount of time, and so whenever anyone was in town, I mean, I went out to LA to do it, and whenever anyone was in town, they'd come in, they'd do their stuff, or someone had to send something over. And it was a mixed process, for each thing, and I think that's so cool that songs came out the way we wanted them to, even greater, I think, and not one song was done the same way each time. I feel. So.
Well, yeah, that's cool because then there's really no filler material, hopefully, and everybody each song's kind of a new experience for the listener as the album progresses. That's what you hope you can accomplish.
Yeah, that's definitely the plan. I mean, there are 14 tracks. One of them is a really cool, unexpected cover that you never see coming, and I think every song's really drawing off of a real experience that I've had and a real feeling, and they're all real stories.
Yeah. If you don't mind me,
but still consistent. That the whole album itself is a journey.
Yeah, if you don't mind me asking, because I think I'm not sure of the name of the song, but I think I read it's a Dionne Warwick cover, and I was kind of curious whose idea that was. I mean, was she somebody that really influenced you, or did somebody else approach you about doing that song? Because Man at Mayhem, I just could not see really covering Dionne Warwick.
Well, we definitely wanted to throw a curveball, which is why Billy and I came up with the idea to do it. Also, I'm a classically trained singer. I've been doing it my whole life.
Wow.
Went to school for it and all that fun stuff. So I wanted to play with it as well. It's fun to sing what you love to sing in the genre you want, but it's also fun to go outside of your comfort zone sometimes and try something else. But Billy and I were thinking, what would be something that would a song that we both love and hold dear to our hearts, and a song that I can relate to, and a song that also isn't so easily done and isn't so commonly done, and also it's not in the same genre whatsoever. So we definitely put a really cool twist on it, and I'm excited for people to hear that too.
Yeah, it's kind of almost like we were talking about a shock value thing. But now let me ask you, when Billy brought up that song, this may sound funny, like a funny question, but did you even know who Dionne Warwick was, or did you have to look up who she?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, okay.
And I love that song too. I mean, I don't think we would have covered a song especially a song that I wouldn't know or I wouldn't feel very strongly connected to, because then I wouldn't be able to put my whole heart and soul into it. So it had to be a mutual agreed song where I felt really strongly about it and about the song and the artist. And so it was kind of like, it was a no-brainer, really.
And not to give away, all your secrets, but I was curious. Now, did you, with this song, did you kind of do what Marilyn Manson did? Where he kind of, metalized "Sweet Dreams." Did you kind of put your own twist on the song, or did you try to stick as true to the original version?
Well, I'm a big believer in respecting, the original writer's choices. Being a writer myself, but also being able to put your own unique spin on it without, you don't want to just do the same thing. There's no point for that. So there's definitely a really cool twist, really cool spin on it.
That's cool. That's cool to hear. And now, I know, of course, you're a singer and a songwriter. I see that you also play guitar. I was curious. Did you start out as a singer, right? Did you start writing songs first and take up the guitar later? Did you start out as a guitar player and then start writing songs and got into singing later?
Well, singing was my first passion. So I started singing and also actually piano as a kid.
Oh, okay.
And a few years in, I was like, you know what? I want to play the guitar, and I actually learned righty, but I'm a lefty, through and through. And so I was always like an okay guitar player, and finally we were just like, you know what, just flip it over. So I would just take my guitar and restring it, and then play lefty, and now I have my own lefty guitar, to say, and now I'm just a full-on lefty guitar player when I do it, and it's a lot more fun.
And now, do you play guitar in the album as well, or just live?
with writing, whether it's lyrically or musically, with the guitar, the keys, I am involved. And so, it's a little bit of depending on where the rhythms are. Billy also played some guitar parts on here, which is cool too, because him being such a bass master, him grabbing the acoustic is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, one thing I love about Billy is, he's one of these shredder guys, but he's really a great musician. He can. You don't think of bass players typically as shredders, but if you listen to any of his stuff he's done, he's all over the place. Just look at anything he did when he was David Lee Roth, up to, his Talent stuff, what he's doing with Mr. Big. He can do almost anything.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah. And I was curious if you had a chance to check out, his other band that he's doing now, but Winery Dogs, and what do you think about them?
They're incredible. I've seen them live a whole bunch of times, and I know they're about to get back on the road. They're great. All three of those guys are just so great to watch, and they're just so talented, and it's definitely fun. It's definitely fun.
I was just thinking how great it'd be if you guys could get the opening spot on their tour, because their new album I think drops October 2nd. That would just be, I think, a great tour.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
And now, and last thing I want to kind of touch base on is, you're always, working on your own career, creating new music, and right now you're getting ready to drop, your new album. Do you have a chance ever to get out and listen to, new up and coming bands? And if so, what are some of the bands you're listening to these days?
I love it. Being a musician and also being a new artist for so long, I love hearing other people that are also doing what I'm doing. And I actually went out recently to Corey Larry's in St. Antonia now, and I got to see them play when they opened for Buckcherry when they were in town last week, actually.
Wow.
And it was really cool, and it was a fun experience being able to be in the audience and just enjoy. As much as I love making music, I'm also a music lover myself in a band, so it was really cool.
And then, you mentioned that the guys that are going to be playing in a live band are different than, who you have on the album. So I imagine you guys are kind of rehearsing these songs now and getting everything down. Have they at all had a difficult time, learning the songs and that, being that they're not the guys that originally played on the tunes?
Well, I think that the guys that I play with are real pros, and they really know, they know what they're doing. So it's been fun and really smooth sailing. So I'm excited about it, and these guys are huge talents on their own too. We actually just excitingly have Virus from Dope, and he's going to be the new lead guitar player.
Oh, how cool is that?
I'm really excited because he's the coolest, and he's such an amazing talent. So it's going to be good shows.
How cool is that? So, and now once you guys start playing these songs live, are you going to kind of this is a live situation, so you're not going to get these songs like note for note like they are on a record. You kind of allow the guys to kind of play the songs, the way they feel them.
Well, most important thing to me is having the songs, translate
live,
how they are on the record to how they are live. So they're going to sound the same in terms of, when you hear your favorite song on the radio and then you go out to a show and it sounds nothing like it, that's never fun. I know that from experience. So it's definitely going to sound the same. These guys are pros. They can do it. And then, because it's a live show, anything can happen. Extra crazy solo, extra crazy things here and there. We're definitely going to put I'm big on everyone putting their own twists on things, but it's going to be consistent with what Madam Mayhem is.
Well, that's very cool. I'm glad to hear that. Now, I'm going to let you. I'm going to wrap this up and say goodnight, Madam Mayhem. But I just want to say, please keep my contact info, because once the album drops, I'd like to do this again when I've had a chance to hear about the entire album and help you guys spread the word further about the band and the album. And it's just been really a pleasure getting to know you and talk to you. I've really enjoyed this. So I want to thank you once again. Take time out of your busy schedule to do this. It's been great talking to you. And the interview itself will be going up probably in about a week or so. So I'll be sure to let Chip knows. And once it gets up there on our site, you can spread the word, let all your friends know, post on any of your sites, and go from there, because that's what this is all about, spreading the word and the love for Madam Mayhem.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. would love to. This was great. I had a great time.
Okay, take care and have a nice evening. Thanks again. Bye-bye.